Cat Matthews. What's up, brother?
Not much, my friend. How are you?
I just said what's up, brother, and I felt like I was like Hulk Hogan. And I
I
feel like
feel
I'm
like
looking
I should be saying that.
I feel like I'm looking at Macho Man
You are,
to a degree.
essentially. That's one of my many, forms in this life,
I
you
love
know?
that. I love that. Well, thanks for doing this. I'm glad you reached out because, I have to be honest. I remember seeing your name, hearing your name, seeing you maybe it was last year when it was kind of around the Steamtown Music Awards and the Electric City Music Conference. And like I said, I saw you, I heard of you, but I never got a chance to really dig into your material. And then you did some stuff this year. You released some new songs, and you hit me up, and I said, "Well, I gotta check this guy out. I gotta do a deep dive here." And I'll tell you what, man, I'm upset with myself that I didn't get it into it sooner.
Wow. I'm happy to hear that. That makes me feel pretty good.
Yeah, your voice, man, like you're like. So, what would you consider your genre to be?
I've been asking myself that for a long time. I guess there's country rock. Maybe this is rock country. I don't know if it matters which one goes first, but I would
Yeah.
say maybe rock country.
Well, you're right in the middle. Like
I know.
you could go either way, and it's like that's what's like I'm listening to it. And I'm like, there's Jelly Roll. I hear some Daughtry, Theory of a Dead Man in the voice. The Calling. Remember The Calling?
Oh yeah.
From
Wherever
like,
you will go.
yeah, from like early
America,
2000s.
yeah, great stuff.
I'm hearing all these rock artists, but obviously there's like a country little twang to it. So I'm like, I mean, this guy can go either way, but he
You
sits
know,
right in the middle. And
yeah.
I tried doing some research, and you don't have a big digital footprint.
Mm-mm.
So
There,
I've got nothing for you.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'll give you the whole backstory. So pretty much, so me and my good friend Mike have played music since we were probably 14. We always were like rockers. We just loved rock and old school rock. We were like more like our parents than our parents. Like if your parents were cool, that's how we kind of acted in high school, like ACDC shirts and things like that for no reason. But as we got older, like college era for me, we're like, man, I don't think rock is popping like it was. I don't think anyone's, wearing leather anymore. So we're like, maybe we should switch and do something that people are digging. And everybody would always go up to the mountain, Montage Mountain, for these country concerts, and they'd be huge.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's get a piece of that. So we're not the only people under 50 at an Ace Frehley concert at the Kirby Center, because that happened a couple times. So we started switching the writing over a little, and I was always a Springsteen fan, so I always had that kind of folk writing, I would
Okay.
say, which is kind of country, more singer-songwriter. So we, hit the ground running and we did our first two songs. I did Cliffhanger and On My Mind. They were singles. And that was the start of a long journey of just prolific songwriting and recording, but not a lot of playing out and gigging. So we kind of abandoned the covers and the band life and devoted it all to just making a catalog. So I have nearly 30 original songs, but I don't put any money into advertising and I don't I need like a manager. I need all that stuff, record label, but I don't have it. I can't be it for me because I have 500 projects and I just I don't dig that stuff. I can't do that stuff. I can only do the certain parts of this industry, and
Right.
PR is not one of them, you
I
know?
understand. Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, how have I been in the scene for so long, and how have I not seen you perform live? And when did you start writing those songs? What year was that?
2020 was the first two singles, right around COVID. This all happened from COVID on. And then, like I said, the last three songs came out this year. Um, But all the big projects, like the big EP projects and that, and our big album was all 2020 to like 2024.
So it's fairly new.
Yeah, it's pretty new. I mean, I consider it decently new. You know, there was years and years of playing in his bedroom that I consider the long time. My friend Mike, that was like most of it. Like, and that's like 500 steps before you get to your first song recorded. So I feel like I've been doing this for an eternity. But as far as writing music in to its fullest form, probably only like 4 years we've been at this, you know?
Okay. And you kind of wanted to dive into the country stuff because you felt it was more consumable from an audience.
I feel like certain things hit a renaissance where it's the biggest it's going to get. And I think for rock and roll, we had like an elongated renaissance. I think we had 60s, 70s, 80s, even into the 90s or 2000s, depending on how
Yeah, I'd
you
say
want to
early
call it.
2000s. Yeah.
Like, that's a long era. And I don't know if it may come back. I don't know. But I feel like country is just dipping a toe into that mainstream renaissance. Like, you had the old school country that everyone loved, but now it's like palatable. I feel for people that
Yeah.
wouldn't even like country 10 years ago, like bro country, and now they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I kind of like this.
And I think I'm like in that category, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
which is, it's funny, but I think you have guys like Post Malone, you have the
Uh-huh.
Zach Bryan, you have Jelly Roll, you have all the guys like that are really, I think, making a big buzz.
Yeah, like huge, like monstrous waves are being made. And then call it a gimmick or whatever you want to call it, but you got people like you got Beyonce coming over the country. You
Yeah,
got Machine Gun Kelly coming over the country. Like,
right.
all these people are, I think they are sniffing that renaissance of popularity. I think it's going to hit this peak where you see big arenas, kind of country. I think everyone's just going a little country probably for the next 10 years or so. I think it's going to be very popular genre. And that's not the only reason we did it. I was very limited in what I could do. I play guitar and I have like a raspy voice. So what are you going to do? You could form a band that has the sound and vibe and pays homage to those previous eras we talked about, or you could do country. And that was pretty much my only two options, I felt.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be chasing the past. I wanted to do something new.
Yeah, you can't be like playing Nirvana and the Foo Fighters and, kind of replicating that because
Yeah,
it's all well and good, right? I mean, that's what I grew up on. I love that stuff, but yeah, it gets stale to a degree.
it does. And I feel like a lot of people they love that era, but they don't want any new stuff that sounds like that, that's not that era stuff,
Yeah.
which is so annoying. It's like a job that requires 3 year experience, but they won't hire you.
Yeah.
So you can't get experience. It's like, well, I love music like that, but only music I've heard before
Right.
and recognize.
I'm just
So it's
happy
hard.
I'm just happy that Creed and Nickelback are back. Or it's
See, we're
acceptable at least to proudly say that you're a fan. I mean, I never stopped being a Nickelback or Creed fan. I didn't care. But now it's like, okay.
I know, and I feel like kind of hurt that I enjoyed those bands when it was not popular to enjoy them, and now everyone's enjoying them, and it kind of feel betrayed a little. I feel like I'm owed something
Yeah, we
from the
are.
people that mocked me for blasting Creed in my '99 Explorer
Yeah. How dare they?
last year. Like,
How dare
literally,
they?
I still have that truck because I'm very poor. But besides the point, I liked it before it was cool again.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean, I guess there's a saying like something about a hero, like um you live long enough to be the villain or something
Yeah,
like that.
that's like the Joker. He said that, right? He's like, either die a hero or you live
Die here,
long
that's it.
enough to become a villain. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like, Creed and Nickelback, they were so popular initially. that they didn't die a hero. They kept going, and people just fucking hated them.
Yeah. Yeah, but now how about that? There's like redemption.
From the
Isn't
the
that
phoenix from
weird?
the ashes.
Yeah, now it's like cool to go to Creed.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's like a TikTok thing, but I've seen so many people that never liked Creed ever, like at the Creed concert. Isn't that crazy? Like it's like new again. That's like new music for a lot
Yeah.
of people, which is so weird.
Have you seen them lately?
I haven't. I just watched on Snapchat. Like every one of my friends was there but me.
Yeah, I was
And then
pissed.
I felt like I was the only person broke. You know, I was like, how do you guys afford this?
I
But
know.
it's okay.
I had tickets to see them in August in Hershey, and then I got booked to MC a wedding for a friend. So
Oh,
I had to bail on the Creed show, and then they're playing in Allentown on December 2nd,
that's
which
cool.
right, and I think that's a Monday or a Tuesday. I think what is it? Here, I have a calendar. I can do this. I can do this. It's a Monday, and my family and I go away the Friday after Thanksgiving to Cape May from Friday to Monday. So, with that being said, I can't make it to the Allentown show on the second either.
That's that really hurts.
I wonder
That
what it's
really
like
hurts.
if I could just start being that guy that doesn't give a shit about anybody else and I just do what I want to do.
It's one of those things where ignorance is bliss. Where like when someone calls you, it's like, where are you? Like you're supposed to be at the airport. You're like, oh, I'm at a Creed show. I
Yeah,
forgot. Like that. There's something freeing about that that I aspire to do. Like I used to be like that a lot, and now I feel like I'm learning to love the cage I built for myself. Isn't that weird how we do that? Like bar
man-made
by
prisons,
bar, we create our own prison, to quote
man-made
Creed.
prisons.
And now I'm kind of like that, where I'm like, nah, I can't bail
Yeah,
on that. But there's a part of me in there still that's like, well, it is Creed.
yeah.
We got to go.
The voice is still there. It's pushed
It's
down,
there.
but he's down there saying, "Yo, fuck that wedding. Go see Creed.
Yeah, yeah. Creed's
The
the
hell with your
weddings come.
the hell with your family. Screw Cape
Wedding
May."
weddings come and go.
Yeah,
Creed is only once.
yeah. But well, you mentioned you had this raspy voice, and that's like the first thing I noticed. Not that it was raspy, but it's powerful. Um,
Thank you.
this voice, I mean, it's awesome. Have you been a singer all your life? Is it something that you maybe took lessons for, or just kind of developed, or what's the history of Cat Matthews as a singer?
All right, let's deep dive.
Let's
So
go.
I was playing Little League with my buddy Mike. Um, and after practice one day, me and my father stopped at a yard sale and he bought me a bass guitar and an amp for $40 at age like 13. And I took one bass lesson and that was it. And that is the extent of my musical training, formal. Everything else was just learned by ear. Guitar, I picked up. We formed our band at age like 15. Um, had a 40 song set. Um, Hilarious story. We booked a gig. We didn't even know how to play one song together as a band, but we booked the gig in advance. So it gave us like a goal. And it was at this Blakely night out at Mellow Park. I still remember it. We were like the entertainment of this giant event for like law enforcement and firefighters and all that. And we sold it like we were good, but it was our first gig ever and we never played out before. And that's where we got the itch. You know, that's where we're like, oh, we got to become rock stars. And then, like I said, still no training, no formal training or anything, just playing guitar always. And I was a backup singer in that band. I was not the lead. And then eventually started writing my own stuff. Had to have the guitar with me at all times. Started singing, and that's pretty much it there, but no formal training, just a lot of bedroom sessions, jamming. experiment, and that's pretty much it for
A lot
me.
of practice. Yeah.
A lot of practice.
I've heard that story a lot of like bands um taking a show before they were even ready to take a show. And same story, like, okay, well, we have to figure this out because we have a show to play.
Uh-huh. And the stakes are so high, like when you're 15 and you're in a rock band,
Yeah.
you feel like that's everything.
Yeah, you
Like
can't
you,
screw
you
it
feel
up.
like you're in a behind the music documentary. Like you're already seeing that doc on TV. Like that this was like the biggest event ever, but it's really just a park and they wanted to book a band for like 50 bucks because it was cheap. But you
Hmm.
think you're like the greatest thing in the world.
Well, that's why you did it. I mean,
Yeah.
that was like, there are people who wanted to be doctors and people want to be rock stars,
Yeah.
and rock star, I mean, like on stage in front of thousands of people. Hell yeah.
Yeah. It just always feels cool. And like that's another thing, like that voice that's always in you. I still have that voice that says, "Oh, that'd be so awesome," but it's different now. I feel like I slightly matured since then. Not much, but slightly. And I'm kind of like, all right, well, what's the reality of this life, this like musician life? And I think a lot of what I experienced kind of made me jaded a bit. And I'd
Sure.
love to get into that with you, but
Let's go.
it's not what it really was in those behind the music documentaries, like the golden age. I feel like that's kind of gone, and
Yeah.
we're kind of in the world of algorithms now. And what can you do for me to make me the most profit?
Right.
And not so much discovering unique talent,
Right.
but riding the coattails of already popular like gimmick talent. I
Hmm.
feel right,
Yeah.
and that's good in some sense because more people are getting discovered than ever. But I feel like it cheapens it a little and it discourages a lot of people that really don't have the means financially or mental capacity to put out 5,000 reels a day or
Right.
5,000, and like, and that's what really discourages me. People are like, oh, your social media is junk. And I'm like, yeah, because I hate being on that smartphone all day. I can't physically look at that thing all day. And I'm not gonna lip sync my songs, on TikTok. It's just
Right.
not me. It's not really me. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
one day.
Well, I feel like we're in this generation. I'm not sure how old you are, but like we're probably in the same generation where it's weird to do that, right? Like it's like the
Hmm.
idea of me having like my phone facing me to take a selfie or a video, that's just not who I am. It kind of feels
Uh-huh.
very weird. Um, I mean, that might also just be me and maybe some lack of confidence where I don't think anything that I do is has any importance at all. So it's like, why would anyone care, give a shit, right? Like, so when I upload stuff,
Yeah.
like, why am I doing this? Who cares? But
Yeah. And I feel that too. I feel that too. It's like I don't understand why me, and I'm not disparaging anyone, but
no, 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 not at
I
all.
watch people like they film everything. Like I'm
And I love it.
brushing my teeth, I'm going to Target, and I'm like, who's watching this? Like I do all this stuff too, but is it really interesting to film yourself ordering like a frappuccino? I don't know. I don't know. What
I
do
mean,
I know?
yeah, I mean, I'm sure to a degree. I mean, they're probably getting views and views lead to, money and all that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. But like, I think about stuff a lot and I'm like, I don't want it to take me longer than it has to take me. And I feel like filming any of that, filming it alone, I'm going to feel weird.
Hmm.
Filming it is going to keep me from getting this done as fast as possible. And then after the fact, I'm going to have to do something with it. Whether I have to edit it or, put something together. It just seems like a lot of time.
It's a ton of time. Like it's like that. You've probably seen those funny videos. Like to get a video of you walking towards a camera, you first have to put the camera and then walk towards it. Like that's crazy to me. Like I can't imagine doing that. I would feel like a burden to the public.
Right.
Like what is that? They would say, what is that homeless man doing over there? Like I'm making content. Like that sounds good for some people, but not for me. Like if I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm just making content in this cowboy outfit.
Yeah.
Please don't call the police. Like, I'm not going to be able to do that, you know?
Yeah.
And I accepted that. So like the world is discouraging me. I got blessed with these talents. I'm like a painter. I do stand up comedy and I do music. None of
Wow.
those make money easily at all. So that's why imagine going through your life feeling like you should be doing things and then being broke all the time. It gets frustrating. You're like, well, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
am I
funny.
supposed to work at Payless? They're closed and like I don't know. I don't know. Here we are.
Yeah. Well, part of me I
Trying
think
to
is jealous too. I'm like,
why?
God damn you. Not you, but like the people making this
Oh,
content, like, God damn you for having the time or
yeah. Like
the commitment level that I don't have. How dare you?
I feel like there's that. There's a lot that goes into it. And I didn't coin this phrase. Many people use it, but I call it like the hawk to a moment.
Hmm.
You either have one of those where you randomly by shit luck skyrocket to immense popularity, or you hit some type of algorithm through tons of intentional methods. So
Hmm.
reels, TikToks, all that. There's that one. That one takes a lot of energy, but at least you're prepared. So I
Right.
always say, like the old adage, luck is when prepared. No, luck is when opportunity meets preparation.
Yes.
So if you have your catalog ready or your talent or something, when you do get the opportunity, you'll be ready. Now, Hawk Tua, unfortunately, I don't think she ever wanted to do anything crazy, but she had 5 million people around her. Like, how do we make money? What do we do? What do we do?
Yeah.
So she had to scramble. But imagine that happens to you and you already have 30 songs that people could go listen to. Then you're gonna blow up pretty good.
Right.
So I'm kind of just waiting for that, you know? I'm just waiting for that opportunity. And people can discover everything else, you know?
Right. That's what I'm hoping for too. Like, oh,
That's my approach.
this guy's got 200 some episodes. Let's check it out. Let's
Yeah.
check it
I'm
out.
telling you, and all it takes is one. It might be me being a lunatic.
That's
You
well,
never you
that's what
never know.
I try and live by that. It only takes one,
It really does. And that's
you know?
the sick truth. It's like, can you keep going for that one to hit? Most people give up too
Yeah.
early.
I think Hawk Tua, she started a podcast. In fact, I think
Um,
she just, I don't know if she was starting to, or she was dating a guy before she got famous or started seeing one after, but she just like did like a whole like reveal of who her boyfriend is. She calls him Pookie, by the way.
yeah. I think it
Uh,
was before.
yeah, but that was a huge deal. Like this whole like
Yeah.
her life is like night and day
Anything.
from where it was.
She could say, well, today I used 3 pieces of toilet paper instead of two, and it would get 1 million views. Like I
Yeah.
mean that, and then people would go, "Oh my god, you hear that?" Like it's crazy, and like her podcast name is phenomenal. I think it's
Oh, it's
called
so good.
Talk to Her. Like that's great.
When that really got released, I'm like, oh my God, her people.
That's great.
Pay them whatever they deserve it all.
You know, but that's what I'm saying. She had to scramble and get all that ready. Like imagine if you had all this binge content. Like, oh my god, 200 episodes I can watch. Then you're gonna blow up. She had to like scramble. It's like, what do I do? Do I do a podcast? Do I become a musician? I thought she was gonna become a musician, you know, because that would have made sense.
Really?
Yeah, if she had like a even remotely okay voice and she put a single out, it would be like #1 on Apple.
Well, I mean, she could
I mean
probably, yeah,
that.
she
She
could
probably
probably do
still
it.
will. She still will. Have
There's
her people
there's
call my
AI,
people.
but
I
yeah, but
will.
there's AI now. There's auto tune. Like she can do it tomorrow.
Yeah, she could. And I
Number
mean,
one song.
it would be, I'm telling you, it'd be top, like #1 song of the
You're
day,
right.
at least.
You're
If
right.
it was Hawk Tua, the band, and it was called Hawk Tua, and the song was, it could be about anything. People would be like, that's amazing.
Hmm.
And that's the sad part of life, you know?
Yeah.
But either way, I think we're all done anyways. Like, we're at the end of the empire. We have like 1 or 2 more years before we're listening to people that aren't even real. It's going to be complete AI songs and AI voices.
You think so?
Oh God, yeah! Like the first AI movie star. will be in a movie very soon, and people have posters of it on their wall. But wait till the musical artist that has like a unique voice, like one of a kind voice that's not real, is producing banger after banger, and it's not even a real person. That's like a year away.
Well, I mean, I feel like though, if they know it's fake, if they know it's not real, they probably wouldn't be interested. But we're stupid people. I mean, we all we do is read headlines. We don't like
Yeah,
actually read stories. We see it and we're like, oh, that must be true. And then we go tell somebody else and we're on our way. So, I mean, yeah, you could hear that and be like, I don't know if it's real or not. Who cares? It's fucking good.
it's good. I like it. It made me cry in the bathtub. Like
Yeah.
that's all people care about. Like, what about crypto? What about Santa Claus? Like doesn't have to be real. A lot of people
Santa Claus isn't real?
that's what I was told the other day. Um,
Fuck.
I didn't know that. I've seen his picture so many times, and I do worship him, every December. But I guess he's not real.
Oh, I've been lying to my kid this whole fucking time.
I hope he's not watching because I don't want to
Yeah.
be the one that ruined that for him.
No, he's
You
6. He's
know.
not watching this.
Okay, good,
Yeah,
good.
he doesn't even think that me being on the radio is cool. So like
He's probably
it's
like, "What's a radio?"
yeah, it's like what I remember we were driving back from the Knobles and I voiced one of the commercials that was on the air and
Oh
it came on and not impressed at all. Like he doesn't
no,
it didn't matter. No. I mean, he's 6. He'll be 7 in December. Maybe it'll hit eventually, but yeah, he doesn't care. Now, the fucking kid watches YouTube all the time. That's all he
yeah.
watches.
Think
He
about
watches
that.
YouTube. He watches other kids play video games. Has no interest.
Yeah.
But then I'll say like, oh, I'm on YouTube. Now, I wouldn't let him actually watch anything that I do. But he also expressed zero interest in even like, oh, you are? Like, let's go check it out. Nope.
What's up with that? I don't know. It's like the ones we love the most, they love us, but they don't like us. You ever
Yeah.
notice
I
that?
mean,
Like, what's up
yeah,
with that?
we're
Like
just
my
here.
fiance, I have a podcast as well.
Mm.
It's called Cat Matthews Midnight Therapy. It's named after my one song, Midnight Therapy. My fiance has never watched one episode. She won't. She's like, I live this. Like I'm in it all the time. Like you like and I'm like, well, you can at least support it.
Yeah.
But she won't. She won't. She
Yeah.
goes, going to Aldi is like the podcast. You don't shut up. I'm like, okay, fair.
Well, yeah, talk about the podcast. I did see that. I didn't have a chance to check it out.
Oh, it's a little crazy.
Okay.
Um,
What
it's
can we
worth
expect?
I mean, I don't know. I think I just had all this like pent up comedy because it's hard to do stand up. It's hard to get stand up gigs in this area. Um, so I feel like I had all that pent up comedy and social commentary and conspiracy theories and all this stuff we all want to talk about, but we can't. And I just dumped it all on that podcast. So I'll just do random rants, monologue style, or I'll have a guest on. And it's been a very fun outlet for me. I cover pretty much anything you could think of. So
Okay.
that's been nice. That's been nice.
Where's that at? YouTube?
It's on YouTube and Spotify. Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to check
Those
that
are the
out.
only two ones I care. I have to limit it down to the important ones. And the only two I care about is YouTube and Spotify for now. If I ever
Yeah.
get more than 12 listeners, then maybe I'll get on Apple. Um, but there's no need to put it out to 500 platforms to get the same amount of listeners.
Right. That's
Maybe
what I
one
do.
day.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I put it everywhere and I still have 5 listeners.
See, I just didn't want that disappointment. I didn't want to look and say, "Oh, look, I got a view on Apple."
That's what
You
sucks,
know,
man. Like looking at numbers, it's like, oh, that could like really halt any kind of progress if you get caught up in that shit.
I know. Who cares?
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
saying,
I say. Like I do it because I love doing it. Like I said, I've known of you for a couple of years now. Never had the chance to talk to you, and here we are.
see how cool it is?
It's fucking
Technology,
best.
man.
It's the
We're
best.
talking to each other right now. That's a rad world.
I
Can't get caught
wish.
up in those numbers.
What's that?
Can't get caught up in the numbers. The
No, no.
the the grid could go down tomorrow, and Instagram models won't be models anymore.
I hope it does.
Me too.
I hope it
Little.
does. Yeah. It's like a double-edged sword, right? Like it's so good, technology and the internet, all that kind of stuff is so awesome. But like what I would give to like, well, I'll never be, 15 again, but just to have that just simplicity. Like you go to work, you come home and that's it. There's
That
no
was it,
like,
man.
there's no, it's like the news isn't what it, what it, it's not, it's crazy now. It's 24-hour news cycle. Um, then again, maybe the news was crazy back then. I never watched it, but I don't know. It just seems like a simpler time.
Just imagine not having to constantly look at something stimulating every 5 seconds,
Yeah.
where you're just with your head and your thoughts, you know?
I was
Like
getting a
we have a
new,
frame of reference to it, but some people, the kids now have no frame of reference at all. Think about that. They never lived without it.
right. Yeah.
Just so weird.
We're like half and half. Yeah. I was at the Verizon store getting a new phone and what do you do when you're bored, right? You typically go reach in your pocket, grab your phone. Well, I'm sitting there, the guy has my phone. And like I'm sitting there, I'm like going to my pocket. I'm like, John, like, what are you doing? Like, just relax.
Yeah.
Like the guy's
It's
got
like
your phone. Like, you don't have
it's
it.
like, can I have that back?
Yeah. I need to check
Like,
my Facebook page. Did I get another view?
yeah.
Did I get a view?
Uh-huh. Did I make any money off the $3 I put into crypto?
No, no.
No. Other people did, but not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how to trip people out? Like strike a conversation with them instead. Like if you want to go on your phone in public, just be like, "Hey, what's up?" to a random person. They'll be tripped up.
Yeah,
Like they don't know how to react. Like it's weird. It's almost weird to talk to people sometimes.
it
You
is.
know?
We've come, yeah, that's all we do now is just it's emails, it's text, it's like Facebook comments. And that's a terrible way to communicate. It's like the worst. I say this all the time. Like, I could read the same message from my wife or anybody for that matter. If I'm in a bad mood, I might read that and be like, why is she coming after me? Does she know I'm having a bad day? Like, get off my back.
Yeah.
She didn't mean it like that at all. Like, versus like if I was in a good mood, I'd be like, oh yeah, I read this and okay, yeah, no problem. We'll be home at 5 or whatever. It's just weird because
Yeah, like
there's no tone.
there's no like grammar, there's no cadence to it. Like if you put "let's eat, Grandpa" and a comma, Grandpa, and you leave out that comma, they might think you're gonna kill and eat your grandfather.
Right.
You know, like
You
"let's
never
eat,
know.
Grandpa." You know what I'm
You
saying?
never
That's
know.
what's weird. That's not
It's
good.
it's a weird time.
Weird time.
I feel like again, I don't know how old you are, but I always feel like my generation is like this middle, like we're like a holding pattern. Like our parents are so far gone. Like, as far as technology goes, like, we're good. We don't need to get caught up in that. Like we live so long without it. Like we'll do like the minimal things like text or whatever, but they're not gonna get bothered with Facebook and shit like that. Whereas like we're like no internet, but also internet. So we're trying to like play in this sandbox like that has both. And we're
Hmm.
like we're smart enough to like be a little dangerous, but like not enough to be like really like terrible. And then the generation after us is just like it's all internet, it's all technology. Like they know how to use a phone before, they're 1 years old.
But they could tie a shoe. Yeah, like it's very odd. And I think we desire things from each generation. Like we want things that our parents had, but we also want to be up on the times like the new generation, and we're neither. So that hurts. And we
Right.
want the economic prosperity of like the boomers, but we also want to make $500,000 a month reviewing Snickers,
Right.
or Kit Kats online. Like, but we can't do either. So we just kind of sit and go to work and live a mundane
Yeah.
sadness, which is not good either. I think we
Yeah.
need to pick one or the other. And there's really you can't pick either. That's the thing. That's the stick joke of it all.
I don't
So
know.
you kind of just do what you could do. And I chose to be a country musician, comedian, artist.
Talk about well, let's not get out the music yet. Um, so I want to talk
Keep
about
it
the
going.
comedy part of this, but I don't want to be jumping around too much. Um, I wanted to ask this earlier, but we kind of kept going but like some of your influences. Who were they?
Oh, so for sure, Bruce Springsteen.
You said that
Um,
before, yeah.
Unpopular opinion probably for a lot, but I think he's one of, if not the best songwriters of all time. Just because I'm a big fan of singer-songwriter folk. I feel like him and Bob Dylan are up there on that list of truly taking a very average subjective experience and writing it so elegantly or eloquently or so beautifully that it it transcends objectively to all. Where like it could be his weird experience of driving a car, and he creates this poetry that you relate to it, and the music is phenomenal as well. And he did that kind of like no one else, like I said, except Dylan, for me. And I was just inspired by that sort of poetic writing, singer-songwriter folk style writing into rock and roll. And I liked how he experimented. I liked that there was saxophone in the rock band. I liked that he used organ. I loved everything about Bruce Springsteen from a very young age. So that really inspired me a lot. I mean, I have tons of other inspiration, but he's always been the number one for me, even down to the Telecaster. That's what I play. Um, it's cool that a rock star was using a Telecaster, um, being a traditional country guitar, everybody was
Hmm.
using a Strat or a Les Paul, but he was using a Telecaster. He was all beat up, and I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. Um, but yeah, definitely him. I'm a big '80s hair metal guy, believe it or not. And I know it doesn't sound like that directly inspires my music, but it really does. Sort of with weird bridge structures and intro riffs. Like if you listen to Midnight Therapy, one of my songs, that's directly inspired from like an '80s style song. Um, Bringing back the lick from the beginning throughout the song. I do that all the time. Even with my first song, Cliffhanger. Um, Even though it's a simple, not a crazy metal lick, but I will just use those pieces of '80s rock in my music. So and I can't not like it just happens naturally. I think because I just listen to so much of that. So in a nutshell, Bruce Springsteen and '80s hair metal probably
Okay.
my biggest inspirations.
Fair enough. That's cool.
Yeah,
It's amazing how like I talked to a lot of artists, obviously, and like how many like different genres like they'll pull from like to
yeah,
make that sound that they're currently in. I always find that
it's pretty
interesting.
pretty magical actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like having a baby. You know, like you're mixing this with this to create this new thing that's a equal makeup of the
right,
two. It's
right.
very odd,
Yeah,
very cool.
I never thought about it like that before.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
A baby.
Yeah, you shouldn't think like that. That's my messed up brain there. But
It's all right.
we're all babies.
We are.
Yeah,
We're all children in this world.
yeah,
It's fun. I don't, I'm married, two kids, house, and I'm like, how do I have all these things? Like, this is weird. I don't have
yeah.
this life figured out. How did I do this?
Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, think about that. We are on this organic spaceship
Yeah.
spinning around a star. Yet we have evolved to a point where we're like, I wonder if my credit score is good enough. Like, how? Like,
Yeah.
just a little bit ago, we were like hunting antelopes with a stick.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh no, uh, I need, I need heated seats in my Lexus. Like, what? Like, where did that happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird, you know?
Yeah. And I'm telling my kids like what's right and what's wrong. And it's like, you're listening to me?
Yeah, I didn't sign
What?
up for this.
Yeah, what? You should listen to me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Mm-mm.
I hope I don't fuck it up.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like everyone was like that, though.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what you're doing till you're doing.
We'll never know.
We'll never
That's the funny
know.
part of it. We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Cross
I
our
feel like
fingers and hope for the best.
the sick joke is you probably do know when you die. And it's like, well, you're still dead. So
Yeah.
you can't tell anyone. But
Yeah.
here's what this was all about.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, no.
Good job.
Now you're getting reincarnated as a beetle.
Yeah,
So
I just figured it
get
out.
get going. It's
Excuse me. Still recovering from this stupid cold.
all
Um,
good.
you released new music this year. Was it
Yeah.
3 songs, 4 songs?
3 songs this year, all singles.
Okay.
And that's so the in the past, I only liked doing projects, and that was another old school homage to like Springsteen in that era, where I thought an album always had to be like cohesive. I felt like it had to flow into each other,
Mm-hmm.
sort of like Pink Floyd. If you're watching The Wizard of Oz and you're playing Dark Side of the Moon, I felt like, man, that has to be the album. The album has to be an experience where you listen to the whole thing straight through. So I would only do like EPs or albums, and then I'm like, I don't think people are even getting past the first song because of, I don't know, maybe attention issues. But no one's going to listen to 8 songs. Some people are, but not many people have time to listen to the whole EP or the whole album. And that was a tough pill to swallow because I thought other people also enjoyed that experience. Another tough pill to swallow for me was that songs have to be under like 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was almost impossible for me. Still is. It's just not in my DNA to write that way. And if it is, it feels wrong that I'm intentionally cutting parts out that I would rather keep in. So that kind of led me to just slow down on all those projects. We got all those songs, they're still there. Let's pick the best ones and try to just do them as singles. And these were more mainstream singles I went for. And I try to have at least one song of every subgenre of country, if those subgenres even exist. I don't even know if they do. But in my head, I wanted every one of my songs to have like a different feel. So I didn't have like the fake drum skid snare song and all that. So I wrote Black Hole, and that was the first song I did this year. And that's very different for me. That's not like any of my other songs. And then the other two, Take You Home and Real Love Song, were just also big risks as well. So, Real Love Song is your standard stereotypical country song. I wanted to write. This was actually inspired by Steel Panther. Are you a Steel Panther fan?
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate them.
Well, you know how they do like parody,
Yeah. I mean, I don't make my way out. Like, I don't, go out of my way to listen to them. But yeah.
so you don't feel the steel.
No, I guess not.
That's fine. You
I mean, when
shouldn't.
when I hear it, yeah, sure, if I feel it. But
Yeah, you're not really gonna put that on.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I wanted to do like let's do a parody style country song. So I came up with this lyric, like I'll still love you in the morning when the lights come on. It just is like a parody line. And it ended up becoming like a sweet song. Like I feel like when I started playing it for people, they're like, "Oh, that's a beautiful song." I was like, "What?" I was trying to go for something else. So then I
Yeah.
kind of rewrote it and recorded it. But then I was like, I don't know. I still like that Steel Panther 80s vibe. So at the end, I did a complete key change and took it up to like 80s hair metal vocals. And that song was pretty cool. But would that ever work if I was trying to pitch that? No, of course. It's just for me. Like I only do this for me. I don't think anyone would ever sing these songs because they're only for me. Like in modern country, you're not gonna go to 80s hair metal at the end and bring in an ensemble of rock instruments, the heavy rock. But that's what I did. And maybe that's why I'm not more successful at this time. But I feel like it's more genuine, you know?
Yeah. I don't think you play out enough.
I don't because I don't have a band, and these songs are really not doable on acoustic. A
Right.
lot of them. Some of them are, and you could redo them. You could make any song acoustic, but they don't have as much punch. And I have been in so many groups that were supposed to get somewhere and never did. So I've
Hmm.
been trying to get into a band, but it's very hard. People have jobs
Yeah,
and
it's tough.
debt, and sometimes the bass player lives with his mom and she makes you leave at 9 because her show is on, and it's hard out there.
Yeah, I bet.
It is hard out there, but I'm gonna do acoustic gigs very soon, just so I could do something. I gotta do something.
Are your songs clean?
Yeah, I don't really have any explicit songs, you
And I
know?
mean, I've listened to them, but like I don't hear curses when they exist because it just doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
And so the question I have now is why don't I have any of them to play on the radio?
I don't know that question because I know very little about how the radio even works. Like I don't know how I can even get songs to
Well,
radio hosts.
in addition to this podcast, I host a radio show on Saturday nights on Fuzz 96.1.
I do know that. I have
Yeah.
heard that.
And I feature an hours worth of music from artists in and around northeastern Pennsylvania.
That would be the coolest thing ever. Yeah, I don't think I have any explicit songs.
Yeah. So what I'm saying to you is I need your music.
You could have it all.
I need it.
My empire of dirt.
I want it.
You can have it.
I want it
I would
all.
be I would be honored for you to
I would
take it.
love to share it
I would
with my
love to
other
hear you.
five listeners.
That would be great. That's five more than I have now.
The podcast gets five and the radio show gets five.
That's
10
10.
total.
Hey, how about this? This is why I always say some people don't have a radio show or a podcast or anything. So you're still doing something. You know what I'm saying?
I like to think there's more than five.
There is.
But
It's
again, I
probably
told you,
dozens.
I don't think anything that I do is very important. So to get through it, I make fun of myself.
That's all you could really do. I
That's what I
mean,
do.
the real reality of life is even if you're doing important things, it's still not important in the grand scheme of things. So no one is more important than anyone else.
Yeah.
That's what's the irony of life. When you get to the end, you could tell them, oh, I had 19 million listeners and I had nine. And they're like, oh, well, you're still going back as a Beatle. Like
Well,
that's just how it is.
that's the fun part about the internet too. Like you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. Like I just saw someone post that they have the number one show, and I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah,
But,
you could
but,
say anything.
but I have access to the information. A lot
Yeah,
of other, a lot of other people don't. So they just see, oh, your show's number one. Oh, congrats. Like so, it's like whatever the fuck you say is true.
you could. If you
Yeah,
make up more specific titles, it sounds more believable too.
you know,
Like I could say I have the number one basement located cowboy attired podcast in the
right,
world, and that's probably true.
right.
I don't know. I'm up in the top 10 at least.
Yeah, you have the number one song called "Take You Home."
Maybe you never know. I mean I found out the other this is a funny thing. We're gonna talk about everything on this music related. I'm not even the only Cat Matthews as of recent because there's a female
Female, yes.
singer going by Cat Matthews. And I guess I'll announce it now, but I do have the trademark on that name. So like
Oh,
we're in litigation. Not really. I didn't send her any. I don't want her to.
let's
I just
sue
don't want
her.
her. I don't want her to sue me.
Right.
So I just said, look, like I mean, I didn't even talk to her yet, but my stuff's getting like messed with her on certain platforms. So I think we need an artist separation
Is
or
she
something like
attractive
that.
too? Is she attractive?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I'm doomed because I think she is. And like, people won't even care about me. They'll say, whatever.
Oh,
That's clearly the real Cat Matthews because it's a girl. You
oh
know,
yeah,
that,
she's not
that,
ugly.
see, you know what I'm saying? So, like, no one's going to look at the bearded man.
Yeah, you're fucked, dude.
I know, but I have a lawyer. So when you can't
She's
win
got
with your looks, you
the
win with
law.
law.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't even know
old.
if I'll win the court case if there is one. There probably
She's
won't be. I don't have
she,
money.
she's got a song called October.
Yeah, I should do November.
You should.
What if I collabed with her? Cat Matthews featuring Cat Matthews. I would have to be first though. Mine would have to be first. My Cat Matthews. And I would do it. I would collab with her.
I wonder how the songs are.
I listen. They're nice, but she's from California doing kind of like California songs. I'm doing Northeast cowboy rock country. We're very different. And I'm a man, she's a woman. So it is very different, but the names are the same. So that is a thing, you
That
know.
could be a problem for you.
It could be a problem for me. I mean, I hope it isn't. I
Or
hope,
maybe people find you by accident because they're looking for her.
yeah, she has way more money behind her. I think she wanted to, or her people or whatever wanted to buy my website, which I also had, I don't use, but I had the domain, and they offered like good money. And my stupid self, thought it was fake and said, no way.
Is
You're
that
not
true?
scam. Yeah, I was like, you're not scamming me, GoDaddy. But I was like, oh, it was real. And I could have had a lot less problems financially right now. So she
Have,
definitely has money behind her. I don't have money behind me. I am AWOL, no manager, no record label except my own. Um, so this is a David and Goliath fight if she tries to make my life sad, but I hope she doesn't. I won't do it to her,
no.
but I did file trademark on that name, so I don't
There
know.
you go.
I don't know. I
Then
mean,
you're set.
I don't want to bust anyone's balls, but come on. You're taking
You,
my livelihood away
you got to
here.
keep what's yours, you know?
Yeah, I'm the one and only Cat Matthews.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Got to
Until
keep
you
them.
wear chaps, we got to talk. I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless you have chaps. I have chaps. You know that, right?
I do. I saw some photos, I think.
Those are custom. I had to order them from Texas, and I had to go on a Zoom uh, measurement meeting where I had to measure my inseam for this woman. It was very odd.
I forget, are you a big guy?
No, I wouldn't say. I would
I feel
say.
like you were like kind of larger than life when I
Yeah,
saw you.
maybe essence wise, but not like
Maybe that
height.
aura kind of just filled the room, you know?
I feel like my aura is girthy. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know. Is that a phrase people use? Girthy aura
Girthy. I think that's only referenced
to
uh,
like
to a
choice
specific,
cuts
yeah, a
at
specific
the
uh part of one's body.
yes, the thumb.
The thumb,
Um,
exactly.
but no, yeah, maybe it was just the aura. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe it was just the aura. I'm a humble guy, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
You're humble too. That's what I'm saying. You got to be humble when you're like you don't think anything you do is impressive. I don't either, really. And that's the thing. Like I don't have the social media views to like walk around like I have an ego. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's the thing people use for ego. And I've seen that it's sad, like in this area. Like some people won't look at you unless you're like TikTok famous.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, we're in NEPA.
Right.
We're friends.
Well,
Well, we should
that's what's
be.
kind of cool about NEPA. Like you could, I can't believe I just said NEPA. I don't like to say NEPA.
I'm sorry.
It's either NEPA, NEPA. Nah, I usually
NEPA.
say NEPA.
NEPA.
That's
That's
definitely not
worse.
it. That's definitely not it. But it's this area is unique in that like you could be, you know, a big fish, quote unquote, in a small pond. Like it's small enough where you could like, you know, if you're out there hustling and you know, if you're playing out or you're, you know, serving on some kind of board or you're helping the homeless or whatever, like you could kind of create something for yourself, which I think is kind of neat.
I think so too. I think being a part of your community, whatever that may be, is way more valuable than being like a pretend part of someone else's or this bigger community that really doesn't have as much substance, you know?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you want strangers to love you and they don't even know who you are? Or do you want to be like a hero in your hometown? And as I got older, I feel like it's kind of better to just put your mark where it matters, like where the people know you and care about you, rather than being like some sort of online famous.
Yeah.
And then you, I don't know, do something stupid and then everybody hates you one day. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's this disingenuous world. I feel
Hmm.
where we don't care who is listening as long as numbers are listening,
Yeah.
and that's kind of sad. You know, it's always better to have the grassroots. I think.
Well, yeah. Then you get those pages who like pay for likes and follows and they're not real, but they say, oh, I have, you know, 20,000 followers. It's like, yeah, but 90% of them are fake.
Yeah, like the comments are like about other things. Like
Yeah.
you'll
Trying to
read the
suck you
comments.
off.
Yeah, not even that would be a normal comment. It'll be like 3 pallets of pine uh to this depot. And I'm like, well, this is a music post. What is that? Why is it in Japanese? I don't know.
Yeah,
But I mean, I paid for that one time. I said, what can $5 get me? Because they were like hounding me. Because you know how they find you on Instagram?
it's harassment. It's borderline
They
harassment.
I said, what can I get for $5? Like as a joke. So I Venmoed this person $5 and I got this very odd comment and I thought it was worth it, but it was a waste of money. But yeah, that's the world we're in. I mean, I had my music has been in Nashville many times circulating. I had like 4 or 5 different people getting it to pretty decent ears, pitching companies and a couple direct to the managers and the people that run these companies. And they all tell you the same thing. Like they're very straightforward. I don't think they beat around the bush in Nashville. They're like, we don't take risks on talent anymore unless you're already established. We don't care.
Yeah.
And like I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what they said. They're like, unless your social media is at a couple million
Is
and
that what
you're
they
already
mean
as
by established, your social media?
they only mean social media. They
Yeah.
mean like, are people listening to your song on TikTok? Is it blowing up? Then they will say, all right, now we'll give you the 95.5 deal, which is still a shit deal.
Right.
They won't even give you the shit deal unless you're already pretty famous. You know, and that's just a promise that we will make you even more famous and keep you relevant for at least 2 years. And hopefully you can make some merch money because we're keeping all your performance rights royalties and we want all the songs and we want everything else. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. It kind of sucks either way, unless you're willing to fully do it on your own and get famous organically and then just manage everything yourself. But good luck competing against these systems that exist. You know, the record label owns the award shows, they own the radio stations, they own the Spotify playlist. They can make or break you overnight, and they hope you know that. And if you're chasing this lifestyle, you know you can't do it without them. So you usually just sign that devil deal,
Yeah.
and you kind of like a little investment on a big company. You're like a sister company of let's say I don't know, um, Warner Brothers or Capitol or one of these labels. And when you go on the website, you scroll all the way down, there you are, and you're on there, and it's like, well, now what? And you just open up for people for the rest of your life because they're not going to give you one of their songs. They're going to the top 10 artists, and if they don't want it, it goes to the top 20. And then these songwriters, like way down, they might throw you like this one song, maybe because it's all songwriters in Nashville. No one's writing music in Nashville.
Yeah.
Maybe 10% of artists are writing their own songs, which is weird too. That's a whole nother weird thing when you realize that no one really writes. There's that great Netflix doc. It all started with a song, or maybe not Netflix, but it's a great documentary, and all these songwriters are talking about it, and you're like, oh my god, I didn't even realize all these songs I love weren't even written by
Right.
those people.
Yep.
So that's another sad thing. It's like everyone keeps telling me Santa Claus isn't real every day. Like after you turn 23, life becomes waking up every day and someone saying Santa isn't real.
Yeah.
You just keep learning more and more, and it makes you sad.
Yeah.
What's up with that? Why?
I don't know, man.
Why is
Well,
that?
the world is cruel.
It is.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
It's not the world I was told about growing up.
Mm-mm.
You know,
Uh-uh.
parents told me work hard, get good grades, get to college, get a good job, get the house and the white picket fence, stay at the same job for 50 years and retire, and your life's good. The
I
crock of
thought
shit that
that
was.
too. Yeah, what
Crock
was
of shit.
that?
Nah, it doesn't exist.
No
It's fake.
way. The American dream. Got to be asleep to believe it. George Carlin.
I like that. I like that.
A good one,
I
yeah.
like that. Gotta be asleep to believe it.
You gotta be
That's
asleep to believe it,
amazing.
man.
I
Oh
love that.
yeah, yeah. George
Yeah.
Carlin. He's got some good ones. He's got when you're born, you get a ticket to the freak show, but when you're born in America, you get a front row seat. And that's damn true.
Okay.
100%. But what do you think about that with the songwriting stuff? That's the only other thing with the country. The only downside is it is a lot of algorithm chasing. And like we talked about back in the day, these rock bands, even to the 2000s, were just writing stuff in their garage. And it was very
Yeah.
unique. But this country seems very fabricated, very targeted, very algorithmic. That's my only problem today. Where I think it is going to be like a renaissance that welcomes a lot of people, but I think only if you feed the algorithm. So I feel like it is going to get watered down a bit. That's my only
Yeah. I
problem with it.
I'm hoping things come back around to a degree in that, like, I mean, there's something to be said about, being genuine and, there's a hot word, authentic self and stuff like that. So like I think people are kind of becoming hip to the the things that are fake and all this stuff. And maybe that's just me being naive or me, wishful thinking, but I'm hoping there's like a just a, we're just kind of tired of being fed lies type of shit, like
I feel like that spirit
maybe.
is alive. I feel like it's alive. I just don't know if it's the majority. That's the only
Yeah,
thing.
I don't know. Maybe it's
I don't
wishful
know either.
thinking.
I hope. I really do hope. I mean, you see little spurts of that, like the Zach Bryan stuff and that Oliver Anthony, if you remember that. That
Whatever
was just
happened
a
to
guy.
him?
He was like a flash in the pan because he didn't sign that devil deal. Remember, he was
No,
like, I don't want, and they will get rid of you. You know, you will no longer appear in the algorithm
you were
if you don't
gone,
sign the
sir.
deal. But he got what he wanted, man. He made a quick couple mil. He's got his family. I don't think he wanted to be that big famous. I think he knew about Diddy parties and he was like, I don't want that life.
Well, he
I
did.
think people
He
know.
he he's doing shows in Australia. He just posted 3 days ago. He must have fell out of my algorithm. Because I was just thinking about him the other day. I'm like, whatever happened to him? I mean,
I
he's
thought he was
still.
I thought he was doing like flea markets and stuff. I swear, I thought it was like a farmer's market the one day.
I mean, maybe.
Now he's at the Sydney Amphitheater. Maybe he is, and maybe he did sign the deal. I don't know.
He's got a bunch of. He's in Germany. This is all
Wow,
next year. Yeah, Germany, Sweden, UK.
can't imagine Germany like people just listening to Oliver Anthony like folk
Yeah,
music. Like
yeah.
that's crazy to me.
He's a large man too, I think.
Oh, he's like, yeah, he's giant. That guy's
Yeah.
huge. But yeah, you are seeing this kind of unlikely kind of stories come out. Like, I mean, Zach Bryan is very much so folky, like Dylan and Springsteen in his writing. And that's kind of catching on. I don't even know how, like, people are singing those songs. They're all like sad. You ever notice
Sad.
that?
Yeah. So
And they're like
sad.
jamming out to them at a concert. I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you get pumped for this?
I don't want to go cry. Like, what the fuck? I,
I
I don't know
do,
how. I don't know how
but
long he's gonna be around for. I mean,
I don't know.
there was that girl he was dating. She's part of Barstool Sports, and
I know.
she put up that podcast and kind of alluded to a few different things. I don't know.
I know that might be the end of him. I remember I saw a DUI or he got arrested or something. And I did find this quote he said funny. He was like, please just let me go. I'm just like a 28-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
can you really use kid at 28? I don't know. Like that's what I'm saying.
uh,
I just liked that that was his approach. It was like I'm like just 40. I'm just a 40-year-old kid, like
yeah,
can we just let this slide? Like I thought
yeah.
that was a little funny, but I
I
don't
haven't
know.
I haven't listened to the whole episode. And it's funny because she's like, I'm not gonna get into details about the. And I'm like, get into details. I'm like, I want to know
Yeah,
because
why not?
right now, what you're saying to me is that he kind of changed his mind, and he's just being a young guy who, 10 years from now might look back and say, oh, I really hurt that person. I feel really bad, or man, I I kind of messed that up. Um, my life could be different now if I didn't do that. Like it's just like maturity type things. Like, and there might have been some mind games. Again, I don't know all the details because it wasn't provided to me. But what she did give me, what I've heard so far is, I mean, was it nice of him to do? No, I'm not condoning his behavior, but also it's like, uh, I'm a big believer. Also, there's three sides to every story: his side, her
Mm-hmm.
side, and the truth.
100%.
You know, so
And I mean, that's the thing. Like when you're famous, it's like people put you to the standard that you're not like a normal person. Like how many times do we change our minds? Like if it's not a news story that someone changes their mind and breaks up with you know what I'm saying? Like
right,
it's not a sensational story. It kind of goes on like every day.
right,
It's just that because he's famous, it's tabloid gossip and
yeah,
you make it into something. It's like I don't know. It's like should we cancel the guy because he changed his mind? I don't know. Like probably
yeah.
not.
And then we're saying that we're like, oh, you guys are fucking assholes. Like that's why we hate men. Like you guys are pigs. Blah blah blah. It's like again, I don't know the details. But what you told me is he wanted to go
Yeah.
home because he wanted to rest, but he went on tour. And then the next day he decided to go do a pop-up show somewhere and go party till fucking 3 a.m. Again, like, I,
Yeah.
and he's like young. He's a young guy. Like, we do stupid shit
People
when we're young.
people that aren't famous do that. You know?
Exactly.
Like people do that in Scranton. You know, like that's not a tabloid story.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not even remote. It's like a non-story. But this is the funny thing, like you can't have both. You can't have a normal life but also be famous, and that's what kind of stinks. And you could try,
Right.
but people are going to take pictures of you at Target. Like and that's what you're always going to have to understand. Like, there's no being normal again. I always quote this because I'm very introspective and I'm very into philosophy also. I do everything that doesn't make money, I promise.
Hmm.
But I always say, we know what happens to Elvis. We know what happens with him and Priscilla, like how he leaves Priscilla, obviously, and regretted that later in life. And when you get done watching that movie or that biography or anything, we still all want to be Elvis. Did you ever notice that? Like, you
Right.
know, you're going to die on the toilet, but you still want to be Elvis. Like, we're just greedy people. We're just greedy. We're egocentric. Like, we just want that fame. So, Zach Bryan, he probably loved that girl, but it's like, hey, this party's going to be real fun. You can't deny that
Yeah.
I got to go. And that's whether whether you're at levels and you're a nobody or you're Zach Bryan, you're still if you have that little itch, you're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's just how it is, human nature. I'm sorry, but don't be surprised when a snake bites you. It's the nature of the snake to bite. It's the nature of the human to be an ego-driven maniac.
Yeah.
You have to try really hard to be a good person and
Yeah.
do the right thing. It takes a lifetime to figure that out too. And there's no owner's manual to this body you're in. So good luck.
Yeah. I remember when I was like early 20s, I was dating a girl and obviously wasn't the right one. But
Yeah.
like she wanted to go to bed early. So like I would like be at her apartment and she'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to bed." I'm like, "Oh, all right. Well, I'm just gonna go home." And then instead of
Yeah.
going home, I go out to the bar.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Why
wasn't doing anything
not?
wrong. I wasn't like hooking up with other girls, but like I'm like, my friends are out having a good time. You're home fucking sleeping. I'm gonna go do this.
Yeah. Don't be boring, you know?
Yeah.
That's fair. Tuck
Yeah.
her in.
Yeah.
We're a
Good night.
kiss on the forehead. Here's a glass of water. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. I'll be back in like 3 hours.
See you tomorrow. We we didn't live together, so I was just going back to my
Oh,
apartment. Yeah. So I was like, all
and
right,
even
I'll see you
better.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Once you
See you
leave, the
tomorrow.
contract's over. It's like, all
Yeah.
right, going out.
Yeah.
And have a
Yeah.
couple Mick Ultras.
Yeah. Maybe some
Doesn't that
Jaeger
just
bombs.
it just sounds better, you know? Where you're like when you're weighing the options, you're like, yeah, bed.
Yeah.
You're like, Fireball.
Yeah.
I'm
Fireball,
going.
Jaeger bombs,
I'm going.
darts, the guys. Like, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Wow. You sleep
But
when you're dead,
yeah, exactly.
as they say.
That's one of my huge downfalls. I still, even to this day, I don't go to bed when I should. I'm not
I
going out to the
know.
bar, but I'll stay up on my couch and watch TV till way too late.
It's called progress, man. At least you're not going out to the bar. You're saving money.
Yeah.
You're you're
Yeah.
not poisoning the liver.
Yeah. My wife's not mad at me,
Yeah,
but
that's a big one.
I should like I should just go to bed. And I've always been this way though. Always. I have this I experienced FOMO before FOMO was a thing.
I know. I'm horrible with FOMO.
Th-
It's real bad.
Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's, especially my age now, nothing's gonna happen, but I'm still up. You never know.
I know, but that's like, but what if it does?
Yeah,
You know?
Donald Trump's president, like something might come over my phone. Like you don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like
You gotta be ready.
he's a good example of that. Like, you never know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no one thought that was gonna happen
Yeah.
twice.
Twice.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you really
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
You gotta be ready.
it's just you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared.
I don't want to see it the next day. That's old news. I want to see it when it happens.
Exactly. If you're not there,
Yeah.
then you didn't experience it. You
Never
know,
gonna
I think
happen.
all we chase is experiences. But now it's worse because we could document them and
Right.
look at them. We have like photos. And I think it only happens like Pixar it didn't happen is kind of reality.
Yeah.
People go somewhere, snap a picture, like I could go home now.
Oh yeah. It's
I could
weird.
I could go now.
It's weird.
People take a picture at the concert. They don't even listen to the concert. They're like,
No.
oh, I'm kind of tired. At least we got our pictures though.
Yeah. We could say we were at Post Malone.
Yeah, I was there. I
Yeah.
saw him.
I took a picture.
He touched my hand.
Yeah. No one's gonna know. That's what you lie about. You lie about it on the internet.
You just lie. You just
Yeah.
exaggerate a little more every time.
Yeah.
And then it gets juicy. And then it becomes the final form of the story.
Yeah.
And if you're drunk, you might not even know. You might not even know if that is the real story or not. You might actually believe it actually happened the way you told it, which is
It's not,
nice.
well, George Costanza said it's not a lie if you believe that it's true.
Yo, yeah.
Is that what it was?
Live by that.
Is that what it was? Hold on. I think actually, like I said, I saw someone post something and I'm like, that's a lie. And I know it's a lie because I have the access to information. And I was gonna put, yeah, it's not a lie if you believe it. That's what it is.
That's inspirational.
Yeah.
It's like a fortune cookie.
Yeah.
I like
That
that.
they should change it to those. Those cookies, those fortunes are suck. They suck.
I know.
But
I want to buy like the ones with the misfortunes in it and just like replace them. You
okay,
know,
I
can you
like that.
imagine? Imagine it gives you like a rough message
You will die.
or ominous. Yeah, like don't go to work Friday. Like what? What does that
There's a
mean?
bomb in the basement.
Oh, you're gonna have diarrhea from what you just ate. Go
Yo,
to a doctor now.
so uh, I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
Let's say, um, hypothetically, right? Well, no, this is obviously hypothetically, but you find out that in 3 days, an asteroid is coming to hit the Earth and it will all be over.
Uh-huh.
Okay. There's no Bruce Willis. Will Smith isn't going to save us. Asteroid coming to Earth, life as we know it, done. Everybody gone. What do you do in those 3 days?
I mean, there's no long plan, so it's not like you're gonna prepare to like get in a bunker or something. I mean, I can't afford a bunker, and the bunker's not gonna work anyways. So I'm not gonna be doing any of that. Um, I mean, it sounds sad, but I'd probably go do something crazy like all the nut jobs would do. Like, I think people are gonna start looting Walmart immediately, stealing stuff. I would probably try to do something cool. You know, I don't know, like steal a mail truck, maybe steal a mail truck or a UPS truck. Um, I don't know. Do something you just can't do normally. I don't know. I would probably walk around in like a banana hammock, you know, because it's not going to matter anytime soon. I don't know. I would try some stuff.
Yeah.
I would I would tell everybody what I wanted to tell them, you know, good and bad, closing remarks. I think that would be nice. I'd probably put a pod up, make people feel better that it's all over. Maybe I don't know, I go to a church and maybe do some confession, you know, just in case. We
One
keep it
last
score.
cleanse.
Yeah, one last cleanse. I'll do a colon cleanse. Not really. Yeah, nothing really. Probably just steal the mail truck in the banana hammock. We'll kill two birds with one stone
I
there.
like that. I like that.
And
That's
and that'd be pretty much it. If Walmart's popping, maybe I'll go up there and
we
take
have
some
the
stuff.
mail truck. You can load it up.
Yeah, I would. Everyone would be distracted. If I had the Amazon truck, people would be looting the Amazon truck as I was in Walmart, and they
Right.
would clear all the room for me
Yeah.
to get the Walmart goods. And at that point, like when things are free, I would just take anything at that point. Like I'd be like, oh, I got a can of peas,
Yeah.
worthless, but it's the end of the world, so I don't know. Maybe I would
Y-
try. Oh, I would try DMT. That's what
Okay.
I would do. If it was the
Yeah.
last time, I would see what that's all about.
Yeah. I would definitely try some drugs because I never really got into any kind
Yeah.
of drug use. I just want to see what it's all about. And then I would attempt to take a cop's gun.
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. So, you see cops with guns, right? Like, I just want to like, I always want to know the reaction time that they have.
Would you want to
If
do it like sleight of hand magician or like forcefully just run up and try to get it?
Yeah, like if I was behind them, I would want to like just if I want to grab their gun, like what happens? Like obviously I'm gonna get hurt, but like I want to see how it kind of plays out.
That's a
Like
nice one. I like that that's specific and tangible. Like that's possible.
yeah, I just want to see like how does it play out? Like how do they do that? I mean, I probably could go on YouTube and watch, but like would they like grab
Yeah.
my hand and like somehow snap my arm or something? I don't know. I want to find out. I don't want to find out. I would never go
Yeah.
around. I would never go around
Oh,
attempting to take a cop's gun. But
only if the world was ending.
if the
Yes.
world, yeah, I would just say, just, I just want, I'm just, I would just, you do it. Like, I just wanted to see what would happen. No harm. Just want to see.
Yeah, but whoa, 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 whoa. Just a goof. It's just a goof.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
I feel like cops are just like everyone else, where half of them are really good at the job and half aren't. Just like bank tellers, just like chefs. And I feel like some would put you in a chokehold so quick, like
Yeah.
with some jujitsu, but
Yeah.
others you would probably get it. You'd probably
Right.
get it, you know? And it's not saying they're not good. It's just some are like, some people pay attention during the training, some don't. Just like everything.
Well, we saw
Like if
that
you're,
one during the attempted assassination.
yeah, like see, and that's not cop. That's like the highest level cop.
Right. Right.
That's like the Secret Service. They were like, "What
Yeah.
do I do? How do I
Like,
get this?
like
How do I get it?"
what? What?
Yeah, you wouldn't get her gun out of the holster because she couldn't get her gun out of the holster. It was probably a sticky holster.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? The highest level of a career, and some people still don't know what's going on. Like I think half of us know what's going on, and half of us don't, and that's fine. But it would be 50-50. If you got the right one, you'd get it. And if you got the wrong one, you'd be pretzeled. Like you'd be
Yeah.
jujitsued on the ground in 2 seconds. Like, but that's the risk you'd have to take if
Yeah.
when the meteor's coming. I would
Yeah.
just say the meteor's coming. What are you gonna do? Arrest me? Like, are
Put
you
me
really
in jail.
gonna?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go see your family. I would psyop
Yeah.
them. I'd be like, why
Take the
don't you
day
go
off.
home
Take the
and
day
see
off,
your
bud.
family? Why are you still working?
Yeah. Why are you trying to arrest these people looting the Walmart?
You think you're gonna save the world?
Yeah.
Go home. Go home and see
Don't
your
be a
wife.
hero. Don't be a hero.
Go see your wife, would you? Get out of here.
Kiss your kids that you never see.
I'm gonna walk away with this can of peas now.
Yeah. This is mine now.
Get out of here, kid.
This is my mail truck. I promise I work for the
I
U.S. Post Office.
my license is in the truck. I swear.
Oh, that's funny. That's
Say,
funny.
take this mystery box. I don't know what it is, but it's something. You can have this. Now get out of here.
Santa Claus said this was for you. You were a good
Yeah.
boy this Christmas.
Kids don't even like Santa. They just look for the Amazon truck now. They get more excited for the Amazon truck
Wow.
than Santa. Think about that. That's kind of sad.
It is sad. Right now, my kids believe in Santa Claus. I have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old. So they haven't been, uh, what's the word? Starts with a
Like
C. I think
desensitized, jaded.
they haven't been compromised.
Yeah, keep that for
You
as
know,
long as you could because I mean, life does beat you down.
well, that's my wife. She gets out of control for Christmas, right?
Hmm.
Just too much shit. And my wife, she should be in sales. Um,
Okay.
because I'm always like, what are we doing? Like, there's no need for all this stuff. Like, what are we doing? That she goes, well, you know, we're only going to be Santa Claus for like 12 years. If
She
we're
gets you.
lucky, maybe it's 10. By the time they, the way things are now, maybe it might be 8. We don't know. You got to do it now while we can. And I'm like, God damn it. You're right.
She's right. I mean,
I know. She's not wrong.
that's the Disney effect. I talked about this in stand up. I talk about it all the time. When you go to Disney, you can't ask how much things are because people will look at you funny. They will be like, "Why are you being cheap in Disney?
Right.
Your kids are only you might only come here once. Like you're in Disney, it's for the kids. Like just buy the goofy stuffed animal for $70."
Right.
And if you even, well, is this $69? It's like, what? Are you not going to get it for them? And you're like, no, I'm still going to get it. I'm a good dad. And
Yeah.
and that's the Christmas effect where it's like, well,
Yeah.
you only have young kids once. Like, maybe we should max out the American Express,
Right.
you know? And then you think, well, I guess we should, but it's a nice trick. Like they got us all. They got me. I think Christmas starts after Halloween now
Oh, yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
consumerism has captivated my mind. And I said, 12 days is not enough. A month is not enough. I need 2 months of Christmas
Right.
and cookies and eggnog and watching the same Grinch Jim
Right.
Carrey movie over and over again that I could quote pretty well.
You've
Um,
just described my life to a T.
I'm just saying that's where I am now, and I'm very comfortable in it. I like it. I like that cage that I built for myself.
Your
I
prison.
go, I go, ooh, look, the Grinch, and I put it on again. And I've seen it was on yesterday on
Elf
Freeform.
again? Elf?
It'll be on again, and I'll still watch.
Yeah.
And I'll go, I could go for some eggnog.
My tree's already up. It was up last weekend.
I feel bad mine's not up. It would have been, but
Yeah. But it's funny you
I'm
mentioned the Disney thing too,
slacking.
because my wife got me there too. We were
Yeah.
just there 2 years ago, and she goes last year. She's like, "What do you think about Disney next year?"
Cool.
And I'm like, I didn't say no. She acted like I had said no. All I said was like, "Well, I don't know if it's the right time. We're gonna need X, Y, and Z next year. Maybe we should put a pin in it." Her response was, "Well, our son, first of all, it was our daughter would be free for Disney." And I'm like, well, she'll be free if we waited till next year. She's like, well, she won't be free on the plane as well next year. So you have to go this year because she'll be free at Disney and the plane ticket will be free as well. So I'm like, oh, okay. And then she's like, well, you know, you never know with our son. Like he might, if we wait another year or two, he might be like out of the whole magic of Disney. And I'm like,
Mm,
God damn it. You could be right. So yeah,
yeah.
so here we are.
So like
Every
that's what I said. Like you can't. It's just a moral conundrum there. Like what do you do? But Disney's filled with that. Like they take advantage of people's goodness
Yeah,
and their morals. Like it's like, do you want breakfast or do you want Mickey to bring you the breakfast for an additional $200?
right,
And you're like, well, I guess Mickey can come. And they're like, yeah, you're only kids are only young once,
right.
you know? And you go, okay. And they're like, would you like Donald to be there too for 50 more bucks? You're like, yeah,
Yeah, tack it
bring
on.
him,
Well,
bring him.
there's no business better at making it easy to spend money. They make
Oh
it
God,
so easy to spend money. It's like you don't even. It's like it's fake. It's all fake.
all
Swap,
fake.
swipe your band.
They
Nothing's
put it
real.
in
Money's not
Florida.
real.
They put it in Florida, so you're sweating and you need a water, and you got to pay $7 for a water just so you don't die, just so you
Yeah,
don't die. Like you're drenched in sweat. It's 99 degrees, and you're like, I need a water. They're like, oh, we got it.
yeah,
And you swipe the card, it's $28. You're like, how? For
yeah. Not
four
even the card.
waters.
Swipe the band.
Swipe the band. Don't even
Yeah.
do anything.
And
Just
nothing,
get.
just walk through the door. Ding.
Why don't you put a tab? Like they make a tab
Yeah.
where you just put your card and then at the end you square up.
Yeah.
It's like that'd be $4,800 each.
Fuck.
Each.
So
Magical place, man.
yeah, yeah. My kid. Well, I said, what was your favorite part of Disney? He goes, the pool and the lounge. We in our
Like that.
hotel. I'm like, this is your favorite part? Well, now
Like
I know
the
that
restroom.
next year I'll take you to fucking Kalahari and I'll put you up in the Days Inn, the lounge. God damn.
Hilarious. I
Yeah,
love
so
that.
funny. So funny. Well, the lounge was nice. And again, it was
Okay.
like this on our floor. You can just go to the lounge and you can get breakfast, you can get lunch, and you can get waters, and you can get beers. It's all free, quote unquote free, as part of what you
Yeah.
pay for. She's like, oh yeah, but we can stop in the morning and we can load our bags with bottles of water. You can have breakfast. We're not spending extra money on breakfast at X, Y, and Z. I'm like, I'm sure, maybe we'll save $1.
Yeah, maybe. Or you might have spent more.
Who
But it
knows?
doesn't matter. It's the illusion. We like the illusion.
She
It
won.
feels good. Let
She
her
won.
win, you know?
You won.
It doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
I
You
could die
know?
tomorrow. There's that too.
Exactly. Exactly.
You
And
know,
when you're up there in the waiting room, you're never gonna say, damn, I wish I never got that VIP package at Disney.
right,
Never gonna think about that
right, right.
ever.
So, well, how did you get into comedy? Um, Well, real quick, music released this year. Any plans? And we're in November. Any more
Yeah.
plans for this year? Any plans for next year? Or you just kind of ride it out, or what's happening with the music part of Cat Matthews?
There may be another music project with some originals late this year or early next year. But definitely I think I gave up on the idea of a band, so I will be doing acoustic gigs starting early 2025. So local venues, I'll play bars and certain events like that. Um, Pretty much just covers with some originals in, and I'm also opening up the fact if anyone's interested in just booking me for originals, which I know is hard. And I know everybody would do that if they could, but I do have 30 or so originals, so I could actually do a pretty long set of only originals. So if anyone was interested in that, I will probably be doing that acoustically, but definitely some covers with originals thrown in starting early 2025 is on my agenda.
Okay,
So keep an eye out for Cat Matthews around the Northeast PA area. So
looking
that'll be
forward to
pretty
it.
cool. That'll be fun.
Looking forward to it. And we're gonna get your music on the air on the radio.
Oh yeah, I will send you whatever you want. I would
Yeah,
love that.
sweet. Well, the comedy part of Cat Matthews, I don't think I knew that at all.
Yeah, and how many people do? Um, if you want to get it, I like the idea of, and this was not fabricated or disingenuous. It's just literally my personality. Like I actually talk and act like this all the time. Some people don't think that, but it's true. So that's why if you listen to the podcast, that's like a main outlet for comedy for me, where I get that side of Cat Matthews. There's the music side that's, sort of the sad, passionate, nice side, and then there's the comedy side. And the podcast really lets me get that out more frequently. I was doing stand up for a long time with various different local comics, but that became too difficult to find venues and to, I don't know. You can only ask people to come to your comedy show so many times.
Hmm.
So I didn't want to just keep doing that because the venues were obviously nearby each other. And it's just tough, man. That's actually the toughest art form, in my opinion, because you're playing acoustic or something. People could eat the garlic bread and go get a drink,
Right.
and then they clap. But when you're doing comedy, they're staring at you.
Yeah, you're by yourself.
And they're like, be funny. And like, it's not like they're comedy fans. They just want to, like, usually they're out for dinner and like, oh, it's a comedy show.
Yeah.
It's not like they're coming there to laugh at comedy. They just want to laugh. And you kind of have to be more like circus clown than a comedian, you
Hmm.
know? If you're not doing it's like make fun of my friend Billy here. Like you'll hear that heckle. And you're like, okay. Like, what about my set? You know, so that gets a little confusing. So the podcast is a little more free. You know, I do monologue style and I'll have guests on. So when I'm just by myself, just kind of ranting here. And it's been a good outlet for me. But that's pretty much the comedy side. Did a lot of fun comedy shows though around the area.
I'm a huge music fan. I'm a huge live music fan, but I would sooner go see a comedian than I would,
Yeah.
and only because like I feel like you see a good comic, you can laugh for an entire
Yeah.
hour straight.
Yeah. It's
Music is
addicting
like,
too.
yeah, like music is like, okay, like, I've heard the song that you recorded and maybe you do a little different take on it, but like, I've heard the song before, but you see
Uh-huh.
a set for the first time from a funny comedian, that's a lot of fun. And
Yeah, it's
comedy now
all
these days is
okay.
like I kind of like think comedy has really gotten big. It's kind of
Oh
like
yeah.
come back.
It's that's a new renaissance too. I
Hmm.
think you had the cancel culture about I don't know 5, 10 years ago really dampened comedy, and then you were kind of left with safer comics and the late night comics, which I don't even know if you can call them comics anymore. Um, but that kind of became the standard, like real safe and kind of like safe political satire that passed all the tests. But now you're seeing like a comeback, like Chappelle and Hinchcliffe are
Yeah.
like they're like the lowest, like dirtiest, lewdest comedy I think I've ever heard since like the old era. You
Yeah.
know, like that's like old school comedy, like nothing held back at all. I mean, Hinchcliffe just got himself in some hot water there by being so out there, but I did see it come back. Like these Netflix specials are really cool. And the roast of Tom Brady was really cool to bring roasts back. You know,
Oh
like
yeah.
that's so I think it is coming back, and I think people aren't as worried about cancellation. Um, you just can't do Kill Tony at a political event.
Yeah.
You can't do comedy anywhere else but at a comedy show. Like when you try to do
Exactly.
corporate events, like at a business firm, it never works either.
No.
You know, like
No.
it's just awkward and weird.
Yeah, don't do
So I
that.
don't know. I don't even know why he did that, Hinchcliffe. That seemed like odd for him, but
Yeah, yeah.
hey, you live and learn. People are still saying his name. That's all that really matters.
Right.
Any publicity is kind of good publicity.
I think had if Trump lost, he'd be in
Oh, he'd
bigger
be done.
he'd
He'd be done.
be in
Career would
bigger
be
trouble.
over.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because he'd be hated by the Trump people and the Kamala people.
yeah.
You know,
So
or what am I talking? Trump and Kamala people, just Democrats, Republicans.
yeah.
But um, because the Trump supporters would say you cost him the election with that
Yep.
show.
Yep.
Just he's probably relieved right now, and he still has a career.
Yeah, I was watching some of Rogan's podcast after the election, and one with Theo Vaughn, like they were at the comedy club, the comedy mothership, the night of the election, and Tony was like, I guess like freaking out, like ripping cigarettes, like
Yeah,
the,
because like all and those guys won't come for you. They'll just make you more paranoid. Like,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
dude, you're gonna lose everything.
yeah, way to
Yeah,
go,
even
idiot.
Rogan. Think about Rogan, like what he is now, like what he's held to. Like he was a giant factor in this election, and he has the number one platform I think on earth.
Yeah.
And he was just a comedian. So I mean, comedians are a lot more than just these funny entertainers now. They're like major parts of the entertainment industry, the
Well,
culture.
a lot of
It's
them are
crazy.
they're so smart though too. Like Tony Hinchcliffe is a smart guy. Like
Uh-huh.
that comment he made about like Puerto Rico, and the landfill, like I didn't know this until this joke came up, but like I guess they have a major landfill problem. Like all of their landfills are like completely overflowing. It's like a
Yeah.
mess. Didn't know
Yeah.
that, but like and Rogan, I mean, I don't know how he fits all the stuff that he knows in his fucking brain. Because like everyone thinks he's just like this muscle head, like dumb idiot. And I'm like, if you listen to like one episode with anyone smart, you will understand that he is not an idiot. Like he
Yeah,
is very well educated. I mean, he talks to how many people? I mean, he's over 2,000 episodes, and they're like with doctors and lawyers and like people much
yeah,
smarter than him. Like, and it's what I love about him too is it's always both sides. Like,
always.
when COVID was happening, it was like, all right, I'm going to talk to a doctor that is, pro-vaccine or whatever it might be, and then I'm going to talk the next day about to a guy who thinks that they're not helping or whatever it might be. And then I was praying, I was praying that he was going to have Kamala on, and I know the offer was there.
Yeah,
But like, I wanted to know about her so badly. I wanted to know like who she was, and I tried watching her talk, and like when I watched her talk, I'm like, this is the option. And I would try
I
and
know.
listen to other people talk about her, and I felt that they were yelling at me. And if they weren't yelling at me, they were so consumed by Trump, they would just
Uh-huh.
bash him instead of talking about her. I'm like, just please go on, Rogan, so I can learn more about you. And she didn't, and I was very disappointed.
I felt the same way. Um, Looking back now, it just seems like such an error on her
Huge,
campaign's part
huge.
because I think I don't know. Like, I don't know what the Democrats or her party was thinking this time, but they wasted money on nonsense
So much
when
money.
Rogan would have been free.
Free.
Like I think Rogan made a comment that he's like, you know how much Trump paid me to endorse him? Like zero.
Yeah.
But I think Kamala paid just Beyonce like 10 million.
Yeah.
Like that is you're not going to get people with these bribes anymore. I don't think the cult of personality exists anymore where it's like, "Oh my god, my favorite musician likes her, so I'm going to vote for her." I think we don't care anymore. I
Right.
think we're kind of just into like the common sense critical thinking where if you were on the fence like these young college guys, I see tons of them saying, "I watched Trump on Rogan and it changed my perspective." Don't discredit Rogan because of its simplicity.
Hmm.
That is just two people talking for 3 hours. You really do get to know somebody, body
Yeah.
language, cadence in 3 hours, and you really can't fake that. That's
You
the
can't hide.
thing.
There's nowhere to hide.
There's nowhere to hide. You're just there. You're open, and I think that's what sold this time around, rather than the tricks and the gimmicks
Yeah.
of look at our we have a party at our convention, like we have Eminem, Taylor Swift. It's like yeah, but I
Who
don't know if I
cares?
know who you are. Yeah, I don't even know who you are. Like
Yeah.
and the fact that she didn't do Rogan, I think, was a big error
Yeah.
because then it would have been equal playing field, you know?
Yeah.
And I think people still don't want to believe that he is the biggest platform in the world. I think they're some of the older people cling to the mainstream media still and they're keeping that alive and
Yeah.
they think podcasts are just stupid people and stoners. But I think the world has spoken and now I think that's the standard of politics. Like if you can't do a 3 hour interview, that's the new standard now.
Yeah.
I think forever. I think it's going to be like that from here on out. I don't think those little 10-minute sections on the news are going to cut it anymore, and I don't think debates are going to cut it anymore either.
Well, when you have the option, right? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I heard him talk for 3 hours, and we have to have a host like Rogan too. Like, there was times where he was like, Trump would be like, weaving around like, uh,
Uh huh.
and Rogan would like, okay, okay, cool, but like, what about this?
Exactly.
He didn't like let him go. Like, and that's what's so great about Rogan is he's very, eventually he endorsed Trump, but like, he's very middle of the road, and he just wants to really learn about who you are. And I don't know if there's anyone better.
I don't think anyone's better. I think he set up dozens, if not hundreds, of people's careers. So now they have their own podcast, kind
Yeah.
of based off what he did. But the dude had a simple formula. He goes, "I'm going to let the audience, people at home, feel like they're sitting with people from all walks of life."
Hmm.
So it could be an astrophysicist, psychologist, therapist, sports figure. That's the coolest part. And that's why he has to be so smart to be able to talk to these people in a meaningful way. But it's also one of the hardest jobs in the world because there's different people from a different walk of life every episode.
Yeah.
So it's not like he has his job cut out for him. think about it, he had the president of the United States on. Like that's a crazy thing to do as a podcaster.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
Trump,
I think,
like,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So it's like to have that gift where you and I can watch that and be in the room with Trump and Neil deGrasse Tyson and Peterson and this person. That's not. We didn't have that 10 years ago. You wouldn't
no,
get to talk or hear from anyone in those walks of life until the Rogan kind of
right.
style podcast came out. Yeah.
You would just hear what they wanted you to hear.
Yeah. Now you're hearing it like from the horse's mouth, which
Yeah.
is in a meaningful way too, not just pre-scripted questions. It's just the flow of the interview, which
Yeah.
I think woke a lot of people up and made a lot of people more informed, which is always a good thing. And if you believe that's not a good thing, then maybe you're the problem. If you don't want people to be more informed, that's a problem,
Right.
you know? I
Right.
don't know why anyone would have a problem with that. Like you hear people talking bad about that, about Rogan. It's like, what do you got against him? He's
Right.
just he's doing a service,
Yeah.
for people if you're willing to listen, you
Right.
know. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing podcasts, because we want to do
Yeah.
that as well. We want a little piece of that. We want to do that for our community.
Well, he was definitely an inspiration for me. And it is.
Hmm.
Um,
Same here.
but I even have like you probably can't see that, but this is a Joe Rogan figurine.
Really,
Yeah. And then behind me here,
dude.
I have
Yeah, you got a nice setup there, man.
I've got a Joe Rogan bust.
What,
Yeah,
dude?
freak shop gallery or something like that. It's like a yeah, it's
Dude,
pretty.
that is awesome.
Yeah, my wife
You're
bought it for
getting
me for my
these.
birthday a few years ago.
That's a solid gift, man. No pun
Yeah.
intended.
And then Scott Nichols made me this lamp. So it's got the you really can't see it because the mic's in the way. So that's the third eye in his head, his logo.
Dang, dude, you're
Uh,
set up.
and then this is like a microphone, like encapsulated light. I think I have it on. Hold on. Ah, it's
Dude.
too bright. Scott Nichols made me that. He makes these amazing lamps and different things. He's that's all my Rogan stuff.
Dude, that's freaking awesome. I love
Yes.
that. I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan also.
Yeah, Scott Nichols is it's awesome. Yeah, I'm a little over the
Very
top, I
cool.
think, but
No, man. I mean, I got a sarcophagus behind me, so there's no such
that's
thing as over the top.
yeah. I bought a sports card of Rogan like 10 years ago. It was like $3. I think it's worth 50 now.
There you go, man.
It's like Rogan has to keep rising, so the card's worth more.
And I wonder, does he have a stock? I should have bought his stock. Should
I
have a
should bought
JRE crypto or
I
something.
should have bought stock in fucking Spotify before he jumped over there.
I know. If only
I
we
thought about
knew.
it. Thought about it.
I should have bought Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Think about that. Did you see that? 90K.
Yeah.
And I still don't even get it. I don't get it at all, but I like talking like I'm a stockbroker from the 90s.
Yeah, I have no
I call
clue.
I call people. I'm like, Bitcoin's at 90, even though I have no disposable income at all. Like I just like talking like that.
Yeah, I
Like
don't.
I know the stocks.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun pastime to pretend you know about stocks.
Yeah. Stocks and bonds.
Yeah, I talk to people all the time. Like I know exactly what I'm doing. They probably think I have thousands invested. I have
Well,
nothing.
that's all you gotta do though. Again,
Yeah.
it just you gotta be confident
Uh-huh.
and act like you know what the fuck you're talking about and be like, oh shit,
Uh-huh.
cat
That's
knows.
it. Yeah, Cat knows what's up. Cat crypto. Cat's crypto counseling. That's a new business.
That's funny.
Hit me up.
That's funny. Well, man, this has been fun.
This has been a lot of fun, man. I'm happy to finally meet you.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
we'll have
covered a
to
lot today.
we did. And I'm sure there's much more we can get into,
Oh
but it
yeah.
is almost 11. I want to let you go.
All right, brother.
I'm gonna try and go to bed early tonight. Uh,
Yeah.
I probably won't, but we'll give it a shot. But yeah, I hope to see you out in 2025.
Dude, absolutely. Keep in touch with me, man. I'll send you some songs and maybe send you a link to my podcast if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I do. I do definitely.
That'd
So
be
yeah, send me
awesome.
that. Um, Once I hit stop on this, stick around. I will. Oh man, my voice is going. So, uh, I'll get my email, so you can give me those songs, and
Perfect.
we'll stay connected. And like I said, hopefully we'll see you out and about in 2025, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, man. When I see you, we'll do a Jaeger bomb for
Hell
old
yeah.
time's sake.
Oh
Old
my
time's
God.
sake,
It's been a minute. Yeah. It's been a minute.
Oh,
It'll remind me
absolutely.
of leaving my girlfriend in
Yeah, I hope
bed,
it does. I hope it
and
brings
then
back those memories.
be like, yeah, this is much better than fucking hanging out with you.
You're like, stupid girl sitting at home sleeping. What a loser.
Loser. A loser. Well,
uh,
we said your digital footprint is not that big, but where can people find
yet.
you? If they've stuck around, it's almost 2 hours long. This is
Yeah.
probably the longest I've gone.
Wow.
Uh, well, not the longest, but like the longest in recent episodes.
Like
But
that.
where can people find you online?
I mean, I'm on everything. So I'm on all major platforms, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, YouTube, on everything, Pandora. Just make sure you're picking the one that's the bearded man and not the new female from California, Cat Matthews. The podcast is on YouTube, Cat Matthews Midnight Therapy. It's also on Spotify. Yeah, social media is on all social medias as well. Cat Matthews, different handles, but like I said, there's only two, and I'm the one with the beard and the sunglasses and the chaps. If you were confused, yeah, I'm on everything. TikTok, I'm on TikTok. Not really. I have a very small TikTok for now, but we're gonna grow that a little. Big things for 2025. We're gonna try to get better at the social media in 2025. But yep, on everything pretty much. There's nothing I'm not on.
Sweet.
But
And
yeah,
did you just get engaged?
I did just get engaged. Couple
Congratulations.
like two months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thought I saw that. Yeah,
feels good.
good for
Yeah,
you, making an honest man out of you,
yeah. I'm trying. I'm
locking it
tame.
down.
Yeah, she tamed the cat. Cat's out of the
Yeah,
bag.
yeah. And now you got
Cat's out off the streets.
the cage you built.
Yeah, I love it. I love bar by bar. You know, when that Christmas tree goes up a little early, that's another bar.
Yeah.
We keep doing it, man.
Hell yeah.
Happy holidays. When I drink that eggnog, it's another bar.
There
You
is
know,
something about, again, my wife's much smarter than me. She's way out of my
mhm.
league, way too beautiful to be with me. So, I count my blessings and I try not to like give her too much of a hard time. But there is something to be said about sitting in the living room with the warm glow of just the tree lights.
Yeah,
I'll give it to her.
I'm telling you.
It's nice.
It's a vibe. You got to learn to embrace that. Embrace the lazy boy. Get yourself some white Skechers sneakers. You know, embrace becoming a boomer. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's fun.
If I can get their money, I just need their money. I need their boomer
We'll,
money.
we'll probably get everything but that.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll get the lazy boy, but we probably won't have that money. But that's okay.
All right. All right. I'll take it. Well, Kat,
I'll
it
take it
was
too.
an absolute pleasure. I'm so glad we got to do this finally.
Same
And
here, brother.
we'll see you out and about.
Keep in touch.
All right,
Keep
man.
it real, guys.
All right, we'll see you.
Peace.